I'm Scott Vanderplu, and this is the AE Index Podcast, episode 106.
I went down to the St. James Infirmary, found my baby there, stretched out on a long white table, so sweet, so cold, so fast.
Thank you for joining me once more as we take the written word at aeindex.org and bring it to as much life as I can muster in this podcast. No focus this month or key topic, I guess, other than crowdfunding. 2 projects launched in September, and it's both good projects. Surprising to see them launch at the same time, though. We'll discuss those in a minute. Unfortunately, no survey this month. I completely forgot about it, and then I had no ideas. So I didn't realize until it was too late. So I'll have to really give it some thought. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. Also, another month has passed by where I did no video reviews. Still debating. Still heavily not wanting to, but realizing that if I want to grow, it's the way I'm going to have to do it. All right. So as we said, focus this month is crowdfunding. So 2 different crowdfunding projects launched. Let's go through each one individually. First one came out September 9th. That was J. Scott Campbell's Danger Girl Artist Edition. So let me give you the quick blurb and then we can talk about it. J. Scott Campbell's Artist Edition is an oversized 12 by 17 inch hardcover showcasing more than 150 pages of original art, covers, character designs, and behind-the-scenes illustrations from the legendary Danger Girl miniseries and more. This stunning volume also includes an introduction with commentary by Campbell himself, offering unique insights into his creative process. This beautiful collection provides fans with an unparalleled look at the artistry and legacy of one of the most iconic comics of its era, celebrating the work of legendary artist J. Scott Campbell. The Wildsiders Artist Edition is presented in an oversized 12 by 17 inch Artist Edition format. This Kickstarter exclusive hardcover showcases J. Scott Campbell's Wildsiders miniseries. Featuring never before published original artwork, this exclusive edition provides fans with a unique opportunity to experience a historic project that has remained largely unseen until now. It's supposed to be an historic project. The projected release date for this is June 2026. It's $150 for the J. Scott Campbell Danger Girl Artist Edition. It's $150 for the Wildsiders Artist Edition. And if you want them both in a slipcase with a signed book plate, it's $400. I really wish there was something a little bit cheaper with a slipcase and no signature. But I guess $100 for a slipcase and a signature isn't that bad. What's really bad is shipping to Canada. I understand we've got some issues going on, but Canada's removed reciprocal tariffs. The USMCA or CUMCA agreements exclude books from any duties or tariffs. So it's just strictly shipping cost. So I'm not quite sure why they want $100 in this campaign to ship the slipcase to Canada, but they'll ship it anywhere in Europe for $55. So that's disappointing. And that's $100 US. So as a Canadian, if I'd like to buy this, it would be $500 for the signed slipcase. And just say so that's $700 Canadian for 2 artist editions. I guess, if I can also buy them individually out the slipcase, so that would be $300, and then $100 for shipping, $400. So that would be $560 shipped to me Canadian, which still feels like a lot for 2 artist editions. It is great to see that other places in the world are getting a better rate break, but also we don't know. June could lead to anything as far as tariffs or things, but Canada is reducing almost all the reciprocal tariffs, so there are no issues of tariffs or coming into Canada for these books. So I'm not quite sure where the inflated shipping is still coming from. All right, there you go. And soapbox rant for this book. It looks great. J. Scott Campbell has been very supportive of this project. He seems to be spearheading it. It's being produced. The books are being done by Act 4 Publishing, Scott Dunbier, and it's being promoted by Dunbeer's distributor, Skybound, who is distributed through Image. So there's a lot of names involved here. Campaign ends very soon. Actually, let me click on the campaign button. Link's on my website, so please check it out. 7 days to go, as of this morning. All right, second crowdfunding. This is The Art of Star Wars: A New Hope, the manga by Hisao Tamaki. Months and months ago, they had put this up on Kickstarter as coming soon, and you signed up with you put your email in to sign up, and then I thought, this is ever going to happen? Excuse me. So it finally did, and this is up. So let me give you the blurb here. This blurb is too long, so I'm not actually gonna give you the blurb. So Dark Horse is doing 2 editions of this. They have the collector's edition. It's a 2-volume hardcover set. It's 10 by 12. Comes in a slipcase. And actually, I don't know if it comes in a slipcase. It's got all the original art boards, and then around the boards are translations. So you can look at the original Japanese version, and then around the art, you can see the translation. So that means, on a 10 by 12 page, the art's going to be 8 by 10 maybe, and then you've got the translations around it. And then we move to what I'm interested in, which was the Masterpiece Edition. And these books are 10.85 by 15.05 inches. It's a 3-volume set in a slipcase this time. I'm definitely right about slipcase on this. This book features the original art, full size, 2 volumes. Then the 3rd volume are the translations. So instead, nothing reduced, just fully full size. Pretty great. It says volumes 1 and 2 present the unaltered artboards with Japanese captions. The companion translation volume provides English text with miniature images of the corresponding manga pages. This is pretty great. Kickstarter again. So the regular edition is 100. That's the collector's edition for the 2 volumes. And the Masterpiece Edition is 3 volumes in a slipcase, and that's 200. We don't know They didn't actually say anything about shipping. It's going to come later. Backer kit. This is Dark Horse's first crowdfunding work. This is LucasArts' first crowdfunding. I'm really excited about this book. Not enough manga has been done in this format, that's for sure. And we've got Dark Horse previous experience doing the Lone Wolf and Cub Gallery edition, so that's nice. And I just think it's going to be a great book. This is expected to ship in May 2026. There are other packages. There's a lot of you can get signed. The signed ones is just they're just too much money for me. I don't normally go for signed unless it's something special. I have some signed editions. Like if a signed edition comes in a slipcase normally, then that is something I've been getting. Either when it's shipped or on the back market. There's a couple signed slipcased IDW artist editions I don't have yet. I know Graffiti Designs did all theirs in a signed slipcase version. Unfortunately, the shipping costs from California were always too much. There was no discount. I couldn't justify the extra money. I'm still debating about getting the Frank Miller's Ronin Gallery Edition signed slipcase edition because it's still available on Graffiti Design's website. That's my favorite gallery edition, maybe my favorite artist edition. That's now debatable with David Mazzucchelli's Batman Year One, but which I have in the signed slipcase edition. But anyway, you don't really need. I mean, it doesn't need to be signed. I don't need a slipcase. But that's how this comes, so that's where I'm getting it. And then with the Danger Girl, I'm still debating. I signed up for the retail level on this. They don't tell you what your discounts are. It says 50% and then says we can't give you 50% on the slipcase. But they don't tell you what they'll give you. So that's also disappointing. So I'm waiting to see. If it's not, I will be getting some books for the website. So if it's terrible and just they give bad discount for the slipcase, then I'll probably end up getting just the regular books, and then I'll get a couple sets of those for myself and the website. We'll see. Danger Girl will be released later date retail. Wildsiders will not be. Star Wars The Masterpiece Edition will not be released retail. They are going to release the Collector's Edition retail next year, one in June and one in August. They will not be. These are exclusive covers, so I don't know if that means anything to you. If I was just getting the Collector's Edition, I would just wait till next summer, buy them at retail, maybe get a discount, and not worry about Kickstarter exclusive covers and special treatments. Yeah. All right. We jumped into that. Let's backtrack a bit and go upcoming books and shipping changes, with a lot of shipping changes, because Image now has formally stated that the direct market will get books 27 days before the retail market. I don't know. We got the direct market, which is comic stores through Lunar, and then we've got, I guess, the book market through Simon & Schuster. We're seeing that already with the Act 4 books. They were all like 3 weeks before the Lunar dates. If you look at my site, I've switched to the Lunar dates because they're the earlier date. That's where comic stores will get them. That's what I'm going with. And then I'm also seeing that now with other Image books, Vault editions. It wasn't happening before, but now it is. So when the book is actually solicited through Lunar, I'm seeing the earlier date. Excuse me. All right, so shipping changes. Jim Apparo's DC Classics Artist Edition has been pushed to November 12th because of some issues. Judge Dredd by Carlos Ezquerra Apex Edition has been pushed to December 17th. That was announced last month. Spawn Vault Edition Volume 3 is now January 7th. Youngblood Vault Edition is now February 11th. And those are our big shipping changes. So things to watch for there. And again, the year's going to close out. We've got 2 more AE format books coming up. And like I said, I think this year of 2025, we have had 5 books released so far. Paul Smith's Young Candy X-Men, Conan the Barbarian Colossal Edition, Button Man by Arthur Ranson, David Wright's Carol Day Last of the Line, which I'm not sure I should be putting on my master list, but I am still. Neil Adams DC Classics. Oh, I'm sorry. And the, of course, which I do not have on here for some reason, DC Covers, Volume 1. So that's a faux pas on my list there. I've got to correct that. So 6, and then 2 more is going to be 8. So that's a nice number for the A-Index Scott Number Awards in January. Okay. So we talked crowdfunding. Good. Now we got catalogs. So it's interesting. Lunar and Simon & Schuster had these up fairly close. So I've got solicitations for both because I always do. But we'll just discuss one. They're both discussing the same book, and that is The Amazing Spider-Man by Steve Ditko Artist Edition. The very first appearance of Spider-Man to some of his most memorable moments, like no one has seen before, from world-renowned co-creator Steve Ditko. This artist edition features the web-slinger's very first appearance in Amazing Fantasy 15, as well as 3 more incredible complete stories, The Amazing Spider-Man 20, 26, and 33, the latter of which is regarded by many as the apex of Ditko's finest on Spider-Man. Apex, you say. Also included are scanned photocopies of Steve Ditko's rarely seen The Amazing Spider-Man 31 pencil art. Scanned art from more than 20 other issues, including covers, splash pages, pinups, and panels pages, and more. And then the blurb about what an artist edition is. So, this is from Act 4 Publishing, being released on May 6th, 2026. It's 15 inches by 22 inches. So far, it's 176 pages, hardcover. There is a direct market variant cover, which seems to be the modus operandi for Act 4 Publishing. So, we haven't seen any of their books out yet, but expect variant covers. It's $195 US. You know, if you want to get it from Amazon, it's gonna be 3 weeks later than a comic shop. Walt's Comic Shop in Berlin, sponsor of the site, is having a exclusive cover as well. It has not been released yet, so I'll put that up when I get it. So this is all news. This all came out in Image's December catalog, so that's exciting. as well. You can find that on the Simon & Schuster website, where Simon & Schuster says it will be released to bookstores June 2nd. So that'll be Amazon, anybody else. My Comic Shop, actually, we order from Simon & Schuster because we get a better discount. I'm going to have to check what the discount on this is, because also free shipping. So that's one of the reasons the book trade is a good distributor. Okay. One more solicitation this month, and that was from Dupuis, which is exciting. This was interesting because Dupuis posted the solicitation, but I didn't notice it because he didn't put up an image. But then I saw the image on a different website, and that is the, let's see, it's the Ribambelle on Icos Artist Edition. I got that, and that was terrible. What makes La Ribambelle on Icos, pre-published in the Journal of the Spirou from October 11th, 1962 to March 7, 1963, so exceptionally strong, is above all the settings. So many wonderful invitations to travel masterfully drawn by Roba. Upon arrival in the country located north of Old England, we discover the splendors of the local landscape. The clan war rages, however, because the Mac clan bang and the Mac Dingaling, Archie's lineage, are fighting over possession of an ancestral talisman. The men clash with tree trunks and do not spit on the local peaty beverage, the strongest whiskey in the world, a splash of which in the hearth triggers a jet of flames. The script and dialogue serves as a support for an avalanche of high-flying gags. Here at last are the original plates of Roba's best album, the Ribambelle on Icos, reproduced in facsimile in the original format. Well, apologize to all French readers and speakers there. That was terrible. This is being released November 21st. It's 538 millimeters by 414 millimeters, 80 pages, hardcover. It's €229. It's available for pre-order now on Amazon. I put the link to Amazon Germany up as my pre-order link. That's where I pre-ordered from because it had the lowest overall price. I've got shipping, duties, that kind of thing. So, yeah. So pretty exciting. Looking forward to that. All right. That is solicitations for this month. So, one traditional book through traditional channels, one European book that I follow, and then 2 crowdfunders. It's quite a busy month, and the problem with the crowdfunders is right the spending. You gotta put that money up, and then wait months for it. Okay, so 4 reviews this month. Before I get to that, I guess we should talk supporting the site, which could be Patreon, $1, £1, €1, whatever you'd like to do or more. Appreciate that. You can use the affiliate links on the site. That's appreciated. Either you're supporting my advertiser, Walt's Comic Shop, or you're clicking an Amazon link or an eBay link, and those are affiliate links for me, and I earn a small percentage from those links. Or you can buy something from the store. Store's got some good stuff. I've lowered prices again. So if you see anything there that catches your eye, please take advantage of that. And I think I've talked, but where does the money go? Me buying books. That's where all the money goes. The website hosting is not too bad. I take care of it all myself. That is the the IT background in me. So I'm not paying anybody for anything that way. I don't have any paid plugins for my WordPress site. It's just the hosting. I think was it $28.80 a month, and my domain for $12 a year, something like that. And all the rest goes to books. Books. Actually, that's not true. It's also going to a trip this year, going to Baltimore. So I guess that is news. I will talk about the trip on the next podcast. But my plan is to go to Baltimore, get some books signed. I've got some good opportunities. I've got Eric Powell. I have 2 Goon volumes on the store that are just sitting there and nobody's bought. I've had them for 3 years, 4 years. So I thought I'm going to bring them both and see if Eric Powell will sign them for me. Maybe do a little head sketch or something, and then I'll try and sell them that way. I still have a bunch of Walt Simonson books to get signed. That'd be awesome. And then there's some other just random people there that I'll get some stuff signed. So my big thing, though, was Eric Powell and Walt Simonson. Walt Simonson's line was so long last time. I went 2 days, and I didn't even make it to the line before it was last person in line. So the first year I went to Baltimore, I think I got 5 or 4 or 5 artist editions signed by him, but he's so prolific as far as keeping his original art and then them doing artist editions of his work that I've got a lot of them, so I'd like to get those signed. All right, 4 reviews this month. Wow. Pretty exciting stuff, and most of them are new even. I've got 1 old book, and then the rest are new. So let's start with the first one. We can start with, we'll just do chronological order. Hal Foster's Prince Valiant Sketchbooks, an illustrated memoir, Volume 1. Give you the blurb. The first of a new 6-volume series collecting the sketches and notes behind Hal Foster's creation of the Prince Valiant comic strip. In the works for several years, Hal Foster's Prince Valiant Sketchbooks, an illustrated memoir, presents never-before-published Prince Valiant art by the strip's legendary creator Hal Foster, collected in a series of 6 annotated portfolio volumes. Part sketchbooks, part biography, part tutorial, part memoir. Hal Foster's Prince Valiant Sketchbooks is an unprecedented look into Foster's personal life and creative process during his final 9 years on the strip. It's also a fascinating look behind the curtains as Foster coached and interacted with his chosen successor, John Cullen Murphy. Produced with the full permission and participation of the Foster and Murphy families, this series is a testament to author and Prince Valiant historian Brian M. Kane's research prowess and determination to bring Hal Foster's creative process to light. This uniquely intimate view of Foster's creative process is a long-awaited dream come true for Prince Valiant fans. Over the course of these volumes, Kane annotates with painstaking clarity and thoroughness 366 pencil layout pages, 40 character sketches, and 577 text pages of Foster's descriptions and inscriptions for each panel. Also feature an additional 143 pieces of art, mostly by Foster, 100 photographs detailing his life and career, and 123 personal letters and notes, all adding immeasurably to this exploration of Foster's life and art, as well as his collaboration with Murphy. This blurb is for all 6 volumes. It's so weird. The only thing, why give a breakdown of what you're going to see in 6 volumes? There's no breakdown of what you're going to see in this volume. It's really odd blurb. It's like it's written for 6 books. Not great. All right, this was released on September 9th from Fantagraphics. It's 10 by 6 inches by 14 by 3 inches. It's 112 pages, hardcover. It's $49.99 USD. I was excited to get this book. I love Hal Foster. I love Prince Valiant. Not much more than his Tarzan, I gotta say. And I wanted to see this book, so it's really interesting. And what we get in here, we get a lot of original art. But what we get with original art so Foster would provide this. He did this grid. 3 panels, 2 panels, 3 panels on a page, and then he would break down, he would do very rough, in this volume anyways, very rough roughs of what each panel looked like, and he would pass that with a script, and he would pass that on to John Cullen Murphy, who would then create the strip and working off the script and the pencil layouts. In the book, Kane does say that as Foster gets older and he's in a wheelchair, he's more housebound, and he puts more effort into the illustrations. We will have to wait and see. This is only volume 1, so we have many more volumes to go. There's lots of great notes here. If you really, we talk about artist editions as wanting to get behind the scenes and see some of the process of how art is made. This book is strictly behind the scenes, right? We've got the finished product in the Fantagraphics line of Prince Valiant books, and this you can see these strips in volume 18 of the current Fantagraphics series. So, like this volume goes from Prince Valiant strip number 1769, which is from January 3rd, 1971, through April 30th, 1972. So we get 14 months, right? 15 months, and it's a lot of detail. It's very in-depth. And what's nice about that is you can go as in-depth as you'd like with Kane and really get into the nitty-gritty. Or you can be more of a flip-through kind of person, admiring the art and read what you'd like. This really feels like something you can go back to and enjoy and flip through again and learn something new many times over. I mean, my concern is 6 volumes, 300 US, Canadian, that adds up to a lot more. I'm hoping we get more detail, as Kane said in the strip. We get some watercolor roughs. We just see there's a lot of great art in here. There's no question. I really enjoyed it. And, it's Foster. You want to see how Foster, you want to see how the sausage is made. I hate that expression because I make sausage and it's not that exciting. But if you want to see how it's done, this is the way to do it. Just a gorgeous book. There's this weird texture used for the pages. I don't understand the texture. I don't know why it's there. It's kind of off-putting. Not crazy about it. They could have done just a solid color or something. It would have been much more effective than this texture. I don't know. All right, next book. This is Frazetta Gallery Series Terror, limited slipcase edition. So I was approached by the PR people for American Hero Press and asked if I wanted to review this book. I said absolutely. This book is available in 3 formats. There's a softcover, there's a hardcover, and then there's a slipcase hardcover. Each one bumps up the production value and some extras. And I didn't realize I'd be getting all 3. That was exciting. I just asked for the limited slipcase, and so that's the one I reviewed. It's the best, so I thought I'll review that. But it's interesting I will say that the contents of this limited slipcase edition hardcover are the same as the hardcover, except you don't get a slipcase. The binding is not quite as good. Instead of quarter-bound cloth spine, it's just a straight hardcover. There's no slipcase. There's no medallion on the slipcase. You miss out on those things, but you also go from $125 to $60. So or is it? Hold on. Is it less than that? I think it was 50 or 60. So certainly you can see why. All right. So it's 30 for the soft cover, 50 for the hardcover, 125 for the slipcase. So if you want just the contents, the soft cover for some reason has less art. So it's got like 6 paintings less. So it's a very interesting book. So the company's doing 4 different subjects. So they're doing, this is Terror. This is the first one. It was crowdfunded last year. They're currently crowdfunding Warriors right now. And then there's 2 more after that. So it's interesting how it's produced. So we get art we get the painting, white border, title along the bottom, on the right side, nothing on the left side. So just each painting really stands out. And I found what I enjoyed about this is, first off, these are scans of the original art. So I felt like this fit my wheelhouse. These are mostly paintings, and I appreciated. I could see the brush strokes. I could see the texture of the canvas. I could really get a good sense of what the original was from this. I think they're photographs, not scans. And it really presented the paintings in a gorgeous way. I have the Tash and Frazetta book. I compared them. I felt like these images were better. Not remarkably better, not night and day better. The Taschen book did black borders, and I don't know. How different is the border or right? For some reason, these with the white and the white opposite just seem to pop more. And there you go. Maybe that is the effect of it. We got some essays in here. It's mostly from other artists, which is great, and they're just talking about Frazetta and influence on them. One is a bit more of a historical, which is also nice too. Not a necessary read. You can if you'd like. I would not buy the book based on the names you see giving essays. That's certainly not that important, I gotta say. We got one rough, Woman with Scythe. We got actually that same, a lot of this art, well, not a lot, but some of it does appear in the Taschen book. The problem with trying to compare the two is this book has no table of contents. It has no years. It just has the title. So I would have liked at least the year the painting was done. Taschen book is broken down by decades. So you gotta, I'm looking at the painting. I'm hoping there's a date in the signature. So mostly there is from Frazetta. Then I flip through that chapter of the Taschen book, trying to find the art and then compare it and see if it's there. It felt like too much work. I did it for a couple paintings and then gave up. I thought, it doesn't really matter. It's not really what this is about. Yeah, the production value on the slipcase is gorgeous. Like I said, quarter-bound cloth spine and just a beautiful hot stamping, and just really they just, you know, with each tier they really elevated the book. So if you want the best copy, then you want to get the limited slipcase. It's just gorgeous. If you want everything but don't want to spend that money, you get the hardcover. This is interesting. The soft cover is perforated, where you can actually remove the pieces if you want to frame them or do something with them. So the blurb actually mentions the perforations, but then they're not. I didn't see them in the deluxe, so I didn't give you the blurb at all. They're just it's bullet point form, but it came out in April 2025. This is 11 1/4 inches by 15 inches. It's 72 pages. It also came with 8.5 by 11 numbered lenticular piece. It is really cool. You take a Frazetta painting, you do it lenticularly, and you see like it's Dracula and these bats and stuff, and it's really cool. I'm not quite sure what to do with it, but it's very, very cool. Yeah, so there's a foreword by Frankie Frazetta. That's on the dust jacket. Then we've got it's printed on 200 GSM artboard, which is pretty great. You can feel it. And then we've got appreciations essays by Peter Normanton, Brom, Ed Binkley, and David Palumbo. So really, really nice book. If you're into Frazetta, take a look at my review, take a look at my flip through, see the art that's there, and see if this is enough. If you're a Frazetta collector, if this varies enough from what you have to want to get a copy. Okay, next review. DC Work in Progress, Absolute Batman 1. DC's Artist Edition line continues. Experience the original art of DC's greatest issues and artists at original artboard size. Step into the world of comics like never before with DC Work in Progress. Get up close and personal with the stunning original artwork from one of comics' greatest artists. So that whole blurb is the same thing that was there last time, featuring the original art of Absolute Batman #1 from Nick Dragotta. The brilliance of Dragata's work can be seen like never before in this massive, oversized presentation. Includes a brand new introduction by Dragotta. Don't miss your chance to own this incredible, one-of-a-kind piece of comics history. DC Comics, September 17th. 11 by 17, 48 pages, softcover. It's $15 US. I mean, this is, first off, the value in this book is amazing. Like I said with the last one, $15 is, unfortunately the last one, Absolute All-Star Superman, Work in Progress All-Star Superman #1 was only 22 pages, and it was the same price, and it wasn't Scan's original art, it was something else, so that was disappointing. This book, double the contents, same price, Scan's original art, Dragatta's art, gorgeous. Absolute Batman, biggest book going right now, and here it is, like original size, gorgeous. Lettering is added digitally, but done so that it's semi-transparent. So you can see through it to see what's behind it, which is the best way to add lettering. If you're going to add digitally, definitely do it that way. Just gorgeous. We had seen Dragatta's scanned art like this there was a Absolute Batman #1 Noir edition. That was just standard 7x10 comic size. And this has more to it. We see Dragatta's paste ups where he's taped them in with green painter's tape. The digital text has been added with that semi-transparency, which was not in the other book. And it's 11 by 17. It's full size. So I don't know if borders were cut off here. Did Dragatta really work edge to edge? I don't know. It is 11 by 17, so I would assume these are his full pages. Just sometimes he's He's drawn his own panels. So sometimes the artwork goes right to the bleeding edge there. So that's a little bit surprising. Just a very, very nice book. And like I said, I mean, $15. Why would you not want to buy a book of original art for $15? Along with the full story, we get the original cover. We get a second printing cover. We get the layouts. So, I mean, we're getting, there's like 3 pages of layouts. So they put the whole issue down. It's a lot of small thumbnails, but it gives you the sense of what's happening. And then for the back page, we get process art. So Dragotta laying out the Batman and his costume and stuff. It's great. This book overall is just really, really nice. We've got, so the first one, DC Work in Progress All-Star Superman 1 was a miss. There's no question. This is a hit. Gorgeous. The next one we've got is American Vampire in October. So we'll have to see how that goes. All right, the last book of the month. L'Ombre du Zed Original. So barely. All right. So this is from I'm not going to give you the blurb. It's from Marsu Productions. It was released September 6, 2012. It's 12 by 17 inches or 31 centimeters by 43 inches. 120 pages, the hardcover. It was 119 euros when it was released. This book is hard to find. It is expensive on the back issue market. I was browsing Amazon Canada, and this was offered from a book reseller in France for 200 Canadian. So, I mean, new 120 euros. The exchange rate's almost 50% on the Canadian dollar. So let's just add $55 to this. So I almost paid new price. When it arrived, there were dings on the cover. There was no question. It was dinged. So that was disappointing. But I still kept it. I wasn't going to worry about returning or anything, because I wanted this book. Gorgeous. This Marsu Productions, this is Franklin's company, and they did version on originals of all of Franklin's work, basically. So they did all his Spirou stories. They did all his Gomer Goofs. There's a lot of volumes here. I know some people have them all. I do not. I am far behind. I have 2 of these from Marsu Productions of the Spirou. I have 1 Gomer Goof. I'm about to get a second one. They're just really hard to find. They're all out of print, right? So, what I love about this is, so 2012, the first one they did, I think, was 2010 or 2009. And they were just leading edge as far as AE format here. So, first off, hand numbered, right? They did 200 of these, and then they did 100 limited or that were Horrors Commerce, right? So that's proofs for the creative team, the production team, blah, blah, blah. 100 HC copies is a lot, though. Normally it's, 20 or 25, that seems like a lot. That's a third of the run. Anyways, I was so shocked when I got my copy, because this is the first time I bought a used one. I got an HC number 13. So that was pretty good. Anyway, that's one of the features that I thought was standout for their approach to the AE format. So first off, they give you a 4-page introduction, first hand numbered, 4-page introduction with artwork, scans of the original Spirou magazine, because this was published in Spirou magazine, and it was published in an interesting way. It was published on the front and back covers. So you got like three rows of panels on the front cover and 4 rows of panels on the back cover, and it ran for quite a while. I don't think you got front and back cover every week. You got either a front cover or a back cover. So you get these 4 pages. Introduction to the story, gives you the background of what was happening, and then you get all the original art, like the full story. They kept the format. Unfortunately, there's 5 pages that are not from original scans. I get it. Sometimes all the original art cannot be located. That's understandable. They did their best, though. So we get the full story, and then we get a référence bibliographique, and that breaks down where each page, what issue of Spirou it appeared in, and the date. So I thought that is great too, because if it's a weekly magazine, right? This is appearing in different Spirou issues. So yeah, it looks like we got, it was all, yeah. So this ran from 60 to, yeah, amazing. And then we get into the extras. Now, I'm always saying I love extras, and I do. And I think they've gone a little too heavy on the extras on this one. So they just give you a ton of scans from Spirou Magazine. And basically anything related to the storyline, they scan and put in. And then there's games. There's a Spirou Encyclopédie that breaks down letters and how it relates, and the front and back covers and pages that were different in the Spirou Magazine than what from the album or the magazine. And then we do get back into original art. We get the cover. We get the inside cover, which is, it's a really cool piece. We get some covers from Spirou Magazine that weren't this. So we get the album cover, right? And then we just get this whole, and then the beautiful production, right? It's sewn binding. It's a quarter-bound cloth spine. It's just a very high production value for something, right? This was Franklin's company, doing his best presentation of his work, for the market. And here it was, just really gorgeous piece of book, really presenting it as best as possible. This is a high watermark for artist editions or the AE format, and I wish we could get more to this in the North American market. The European market seems to have this format sewn up. We see it in the Dupuis Artiste Editions, right? We have introductions, we have extras, we have analysis of the work. This is sort of how the format goes. And then we have the original art. Now, they are charging more money, and we're getting less art. There's no question, right? So is our focus strictly the art? The other thing I appreciate about French volumes, and I know, this is also, there are much fewer of them, but they try and present the full story, right? They're giving us the full album, and that's what we get. Now, I understand that's not always the case. I mean, we've got a lot of artist editions in North America, and the full art isn't there. So would we like to see a representation of it? Well, that's what we're getting now at this point, right? They used to be artifact editions. Now they're just artist editions. And, giving us what's available. And that's also appreciated. But I mean, if there was a standard that I was going to put above and beyond everything else, then I think the way these European albums are done, like I said, this album, the Marceau Productions, the Dupuis Artiste Editions, I think that's the format I would strive for. All right, thank you for listening to me ramble on this month yet again. I am working on a long-form piece about artist edition designs and how they evolved or didn't evolve, but how publishers presented their design and just stuck with it. So I'm still working on that. I feel like that's, I put it on the back burner and then have not got back to it. So that's got to get into it and just sort of attack that. Also, I can only come from what I have. Now, yes, I have every North American artist edition, or AE format book, but I don't have every European one. So I have some early ones. I can really compare and contrast. So that's nice. And I'll go from there. All right. Everything we've talked about here can be read at aeindex.org. I'm always available for comments or questions at scott@aeindex.org. I don't always have an answer for sure. I try. And hit up the store, use the affiliate links, support the site, and we will talk again next month.
Let her go, God bless her. Wherever she may be, she can search this wide world over. She'll never find a sweet man like me.